Hello, all. This week we're going to be discussing the 1993 Super Mario's movie. Was it a nostalgic joyride, or is it just 90 minutes of poor Bob Hoskins questioning his life choices? Stick around to find out. Hello, all, and welcome to Middle-Aged Geeks. I am Phil, and that is Daz. And today we're going to be looking at a film that dares to ask the question, what if a beloved children's game about magical mushrooms was actually a sweaty industrial fever dream set in a dystopian sewer in an alternative universe? If that's what this is. So, Daz, I'm just going to do a quick intro about the movie, and then we can get on to specifics. For those of you at home, this is going to be lousy with spoilers. Spoilers through the roof, because this is it's an old and terrible movie, and it's just going to be fun to kind of carry along with us. So the actual synopsis is Mario and Luigi find themselves in another dimension, which is ruled by King Koopa, who wants to merge both worlds in order to rule them. The brothers team up with Princess Daisy to thwart his plans. Why not Princess Peach? Who knows? Maybe they thought that would just be too stupid. But anyway, this one is directed by the husband and wife team Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel. Written, and I'm using that word very loosely, by Parker Bennett, Terry Runte, Ed Solomon, and others, which we'll explain later on. Starring in the title roles, there we've got Bob Hoskins as Mario and John Leguizamo as Luigi, and then Dennis Hopper, Samantha Mathis, Fisher Stevens, Fiona Shaw, Richard Edson, and a tiny cameo by Lance Henriksen. Like, this is a fun cast. And this one, you won't be surprised to hear that this one did not make money. It cost 48 million and it made 38. So look, but like, it is like, just before that, is like, we'll get into it now, but like, not just is it a fun and good cast, like, we've got like cinematography by Dean Semler, who had only just done like Dances with Wolves and the Mad Max movies. Alan Silvestri did the music for this. Like, this is guys worked on some of the biggest
Marvel alumni.
Yeah, like, he's doing Doomsday this year. You know, like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, Daz, look, give me your opening thoughts on this dumpster fire of a movie.
Oh man, I loved it. No, my God, watching this again was a fucking trip when we were deciding to do this. I'm trying to think back when I last saw it, and it must have been when the VHS came out. Kind of saw it because when I saw it in the cinema, I think I saw it 5 or 6 times. For some reason, I don't know. I'd like to go back to that person and ask what the fuck was going on. But yeah, so I hadn't seen it in Jesus, like 30 plus years. And yeah, it's a fucking wild movie. Like, there's so much in the movie, and obviously we'll get into fucking behind the scenes, but like, it just takes such massive swings. Like you're saying, how it gets from the Mario games to what's on screen is mental, with dinosaurs and meteors splitting dimensions, and just going, what the fuck is going on? But like, lots of movies are pretty shit, but like, this takes it kind of to a baffling level, and you can see, like, a lot of movies that are shit, you know, they can hide some of the shit that's going on behind the scenes. This cannot. Like, as you're saying, the script is just all over the place. The actors haven't a clue what they're doing, and you can see that they haven't a clue what they're doing. The audio's all over the place. It's like amazing cinematographers, and everything just lit with like one flat light, because they're just running around with half-built sets. But my main takeaway from this one is, looking into it, the fact that this whole thing started, and you were saying, like, it's got amazing people behind the camera and talented actors in front of the camera, questionable directors. But like, it started with a script from like Barry Morrow, who had like just won an Oscar for The Rain Man. So he was on board, like, and just like
behind the scenes of this.
And you're going, what the fuck?
I think it's just as famous. Like, the story is of what was happening behind the scenes. You know, it's one of those movies is way more interesting than the actual movie. Like Dustin Hoffman wanted to buy the rights at one point and make this into a movie. Like, there was so many different people that they wanted to attach it. Fucking Schwarzenegger attached at one point to play King Koopa. Like, you know, it's nuts.
Yeah, but it's an absolute shit show of a movie. And to see where it kind of began, what they had in their mind, because I guess, like, you see why Nintendo were going down that route when, you know, Batman come out, and like, Batman, like, kind of kids comic, was told seriously, and Ninja Turtles, I think 1990 had come out, and it's like, oh fucking hell, and that did pretty well at the box office. So everyone went, okay, Nintendo sold the rights to somebody and said, yeah, let's go. And they wanted like an adult kind of themed take on Mario, which, like, threadbare story already. Like, plumber who doesn't plumb in the game saves princess by beating King Koopa turtle, and jumps and gets big and he smashes blocks with his head. You're like, okay, go nuts. But Jesus, they went wild. Like,
I think when I was watching it, I was like, this, and even the way, because like, yeah, she said they wanted it kind of adult at one point, but then they had different writers brought in at different times because you're like, no, it needs to be more kid orientated, and then back to no, it needs to be family friendly, but we also want to keep it dark. And so like that's why there's so much 80 horror in the movie.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
But because it's so loosely related, I was thinking when I was watching it, I was like, how did they get the game to this? And it's like if you meet someone in the pub who's hammer drunk and they try to explain to you something and they just write it down pissed drunk on a napkin, and you have to then translate that into something coherent. And that's like this. Like someone someone just gave them a rough idea. These lads are plumbers, is it? And I'll go fuck it. And then just made this absolute, like it's fucking bananas. And then fair play to because this was like this kind of catapulted John Leguizamo, which is gas because it's such a bad movie. He was doing well at the time, I guess, and like stand up and stuff like that. But this is what kind of made him even more famous, which is nuts because of how shit it is. But like, there's no, as much as Dennis Hopper was pissed off and was arguing with people between scenes and all this kind of shouting at the directors, like all this kind of stuff, I still don't think anybody phoned it in. Like,
no. It's just so evident that they just had no idea what the movie was. Is it like a straight-laced, like initially the script was going to be, it's just the relationship between Mario and Luigi. And even in this, it's not even clear. Are they brothers? Is uncle? Like, what the fuck is going on? Just make them brothers, for the fucking love of God.
Why you say that? Let's look at a clip from Bob Hoskins explaining that he really didn't know what fucking Mario was about.
I didn't even know it was a game. It was my kids that told me. Well, I said, what's your next film? I'm doing Super Mario Brothers. Oh, that's the game. Oh, what? Yeah, and this is you. And I saw this thing jumping up and down. I thought, I used to play King Lear.
That's fucking brilliant. That's brilliant.
He summed it up perfectly there. Like, he hadn't a clue what was going on. Like the script being rewritten, just like not just rewritten in terms of like different scenes and stuff, like thematically and fucking tonally, wild changes. Like they were saying they just stopped learning their lines even a few days before because they were just getting new lines, new script and new pages. Like when they're standing there ready to fucking go. Just like
that's exactly it. Dennis Hopper said he didn't even bother learning his lines because he said they're probably going to be changed the next day. So like, yeah, you're just like, I'm not going to fucking bother. Like it's and like the absolute balls on like Parker Bennett and Terry Runte who were like the first two on it, and the way they approached it. Like they were saying they were writing it based as if this was the Mario origin story. And that the games were based on this movie. That was their...
Yeah.
I was like, get a fucking grip. Like, Mario was a worldwide phenomenon. Yeah. Your fucking weird-ass writing movie is not going to be a fucking... You're not rewriting and retconning whatever, Nintendo had already come up with for it. Like, but when they brought in then the next writers, who was, what was it, Dick Clement and Ian Lefrene, to make it more adult, they got fired. But, like, the production company didn't tell the directors that they were firing them, so they got the boot. They got the food, and they're like, right now we need to make it more. They got brought in to make it more adult friendly, and then they got the boot all together, and it was Ed Solomon and Ryan Rowe came in, and they were told, no, it's got to be family friendly. So there's no fucking time. Like, this is after Hoskins and these main actors had signed on for this movie. Like, what the fuck have I signed up for? Like, there's rewrites happening with different writers as the movie's being made. Like, that's why the set makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Because, like you said, Des, you're going for that grimy kind of, the Special Ninja Turtles in particular kind of vibe to it. But then you're trying to make the comedy and all the rest and make it all slapstick and family friendly in this really dark, grungy, horrible fucking... what's it called? Yeah. Fungus and shit, like environment. It's bizarre. It's such a mess of a movie. Yeah, it was such a wild time watching it again.
Yeah, and like you can see what like the directors were trying to do. They were kind of like inspired. They wanted a Blade Runner kind of dirty, kind of grimy, futuristic world, and you get senses of what they're kind of trying to do, but like. It's so disjointed, like even when you're watching it again, I completely forgot the starting animation.
A long time ago, the Earth was ruled by dinosaurs. They were big, so not a lot of people went around hassling them.
who's just told by some random guy trying to sound like a New Yorker who's not Bob Hoskins. Like,
No,
who's this
that's-
fucking guy.
that's Dan
dinosaurs. They
Castle.
came down to.
That's Dan Castellaneta, or whatever his name is, from The Simpsons, who did that. Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Then something happened. A giant meteorite struck the Earth. Goodbye, dinosaurs. But what if the dinosaurs weren't all destroyed? What if the impact of that meteorite created a parallel dimension where the dinosaurs continue to thrive and evolve into intelligent, vicious, aggressive beings?
But like that, they had to put in an animation after the fact, after they had the movie finished in the editing room and kind of going, right, okay, hold on. But did we explain to anybody about the whole splitting dimensions thing with the dinosaurs? It's like, okay, well, what if the meteor came down? Actually, it split the world into two different dimensions. So the dinosaurs still thrived in their world and we thrived in our world. But the dinosaurs evolved into humans as well. Yeah. Like just like us, and they have the same things like pizza and shoes and music and everything's the exact same as us. So we're from apes, they're from dinosaurs, but they both lead to the same place. But like it's just you're watching this going, it's a mess.
And there's only one
mess.
city. Like there's only the Manhattan or whatever it is. And like there's
When
only
you look
like
at the globe and it's just like Dino Hatton and there's nothing else on the planet.
There's nothing else. Yet everybody's here. It's multiracial. Everybody's human. They all speak English. Yet this is the only place in the whole world. It's
65 million years in just one little city that's like about 4 square blocks or something.
How do they know to even name it Hatton? Have that in the name? Like it's fucking nuts.
But it's mad. Like, but even when you watch it after that animation, like it's still the first 20 minutes. I'd love to know what script that is from, but the first 20 minutes it just plays like a kind of a buddy kind of romantic drama comedy thing with like just John or the relationship between the two of them, and then Luigi just trying to get a date with fucking Daisy, and you're like, this is all
it's so awkward.
It's pretty mad and awkward and weird, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Totally misjudged humor and stuff, but like, Jesus. And then just a wild swing when she goes through the portal, Bob Hoskins, and he's falling down into Dino Hatton. The visual effects, you're like, wow, this is like the same year as fucking Jurassic Park.
But I will say, like that okay, the visual effects there, you know, in that part of it, maybe not great. But overall, for a movie that was made in 93, I thought a lot of these effects were really impressive. And I think it was actually quite lauded for some of the effects. Like the even them disintegrating, you know, and then come back together again.
For
a lot of that
30
stuff
years ago.
for,
Jesus.
Yeah, 33 years ago. I mean, it was pretty impressive. But yes, obviously some of it was hokey as fuck. But I did think that was one of the few positives. That and some of the animatronics I thought were fantastic.
Yoshi
was great,
cool.
and the animation in the Goombas, mother of God, the Goombas, their tiny little heads and their giant body, it's like
they're brilliant. Like they're just absolutely brilliant. The minute that first guy or Toad gets kind of shrunk down in his head and he emerges out and they give him his harmonica back, it's like, oh, stop the lights. They're brilliant. The smile there, like maybe that's why I watched it 5 times, because they're just fucking hilarious. But like you get. There's so many mad sequences in it, and just thinking of the Goombas, like there's a sequence in, like you just don't know what movie this kind of belongs in or what they're trying to do, where Luigi's in the lift with the Goombas. And I remember at the time, I'm pretty sure as a fucking 13-year-old kid, I thought this was hilarious, where he just starts moving them and they start kind of dancing, and it's like doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. And you have moments where you just go, oh, is this good? Is it funny? What the fuck is the point to this? It's just like absolute fucking nonsense. Like, yeah.
Like, why does it even work? And actually, even on that, the whatchamacallit, the Goombas, which I have to say I did enjoy, because it's the goofy looking smile with the tiny head, or the tiny head and stuff. But like the what's this guy, Morton, the director, he apparently wants them to look more grungy, and so he poured coffee over the head of one of them, and apparently went through the thing and burnt the per extra, just an extra inside, and the per extra playing him got fucking coffee, got through all the animatronics and everything. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Fucking dope.
Oh, it's fucking great. But like you were talking about sets. There's so many scenes in this where, like, it just starts. There's no establishing shots at all of a few scenes because the sets weren't fucking finished. So it just starts with like a close up, then kind of a wide, and you're like, where are we? And then just cuts away somewhere else. And it's like, oh, okay, no set was finished whatsoever. But there's one of my favorite scenes. Like, you could tell that they're obviously running out of time, and I think Disney had to step in, help them out funding wise, because it was an absolute fucking train wreck. But they were obviously trying to go as fast as humanly possible, because there's a scene when, like, I think Luigi attacks the two guys near the dump truck where they're trying to sneak back in somewhere, and there's two, I think they're supposed to be Shy Guys, but like his version of them, but they're standing shoveling shit out of a dump truck, and he's obviously going to sneak up behind them, tap one of them on the shoulder. He's going to turn around and clock the other one with his shovel, and and then whatever. But like, he pops up behind him, and before he does anything, your man turns around. They're obviously timing it and practicing the timing of it in this take, so he gets it completely wrong. He turns before he even taps him on the shoulder, knocks your man. Their reactions are completely off, and you're looking at it, and someone's obviously just went, "Yeah, that's good. Let's move on." It's like, wait. Hold on, we just got that. It's shocking. Like, it's just student film with.
But that's because the lads in the costumes can't fuck. They probably couldn't see anything if that's really like. The thing as well is that I don't know about the extras and all the rest, but we do know that like John Leguizamo and at least Bob Hoskins were pissed half the time. Like, they were drinking in between takes and everything, which is completely understandable, if for a movie like this. And I'm sure Dennis Hopper was as well. Because like, why the fuck wouldn't you in a movie like this? You'd definitely be getting locked in between takes. Like, and as we said, we've already said, like, Hoskins didn't know anything about it going in, but he said like when he said he's hesitant to take the role and he didn't really know much about it. Like, he just goes, I'm in the right shape because I've got a mustache and I've worked as a plumber's apprentice for about 3 weeks, and I set a plumber's boots on fire with a blowtorch. So that's like, and then
qualified.
And I think you had mentioned the quote to me, Des, before about his thing with the directors. He was saying he was asked, and unfortunately this wasn't filmed, but he was asked in an interview about what was the worst decision of his career-wise, and he said Super Mario Brothers. It was a fucking nightmare. The whole experience was a nightmare. I had a husband and wife team directing whose arrogance had been mistaken for talent, and for so many weeks their own agent told them to get the fuck off the set. Fucking nightmare. Fucking idiots. Absolutely brilliant.
What a quote. That's fucking amazing. It's just brilliant. But like, it's just absolute, just fucking madness. And why wouldn't you drink on fucking set of this? Just bonkers. And like, even the directors were like, there was so much stuff, as you were saying, that was done without the directors knowing, which that's a pretty big fucking warning sign there. It's like, what the fuck? So like, writers were blaming the producers, directors were blaming the writers, the actors were blaming the directors. Everyone just going, what the fuck? No one could agree on fucking anything. But then like, the directors were even just locked out of the edit, because someone eventually copped on that these guys haven't a fucking clue what they're doing. So they were locked out of the fucking edit. Their agents dropped them. Their careers completely stalled. This is still a while editing the movie.
And they're now divorced. Yeah. I don't think it was because of this, but they are definitely divorced. But I think as much as a lot of blame lies in them, I think they did take the brunt of the blame for this when some of it really wasn't down to them. The fact that studio was asking for different things, different writers were being brought in. They thought they were going to be making a different movie than they were, and they just didn't handle the changes, well at all. I mean, I don't know if they just kept butting heads with the studio, but they could have said, listen, okay, look, we'll take a concession here, but this needs to be done this way, or the story is not going to make sense, or whatever. Maybe they were just really difficult to deal with, and it sounds like they were. But they took so much of the blame for this. And I think there is plenty of blame to go around.
Oh, absolutely. The blame goes all around. I mean, the credit goes to pretty much most of the actors. Even Fisher Stevens, great scene. Fisher Stevens again, it's just great. It's those fucking idiots.
Well, they were told they could ad-lib. I think that's where that came from. They were told a lot of their stuff, they were told they could ad-lib. And then because of that, then they kept some of that in. And that was actually, directors told them they could ad-lib their parts. And that gave them a little bit to add more fun into it, because the two were messing with each other. And so those two were quite funny. Yeah, especially when they got evolved, Super Evolved, and they set the start. Yeah. All of a sudden their characters completely change up to using longer words basically. But it's brilliant.
But it's like they get involved to be smarter, and then the next scene they just haphazardly drive a fucking Jeep off a cliff. Just like, what the fuck is going on? But like that I completely forgot. Dennis Hopper, or King Koopa's fucking machine. Just kind of go, when he obviously makes Goombas and makes their head small, but when you see the controls and it's like, evolve, devolve.
Simon, de-evolve him now.
Evolve. Expectation.
And then later on, it says like smart, less smart or something, and just like dumb. And you're like going, wow. Talk about like oversimplification. I know it's based on a fucking Mario game, but it's like, wow, like what a set. Like fucking do one switch, like, oh fucking hell.
I love that it just kind of does their heads. Like, what's his face? What's his a Toad? He was just a regular. He's a dude. I think he was a singer or DJ or something in real life, like at the time. And they got like a shock jock or something like that, and they got him into the machine. But when they do like a de-evolve from human back to like, it doesn't do, his whole body doesn't become, lizard and dinosaur focused. It basically just makes his body get taller and then his head get really small and like look like a lizard. Like, it makes no sense at all. Because when they put King Koopa into it, he gets supposedly, whatever happens to him. I'm not sure if he's getting evolved or devolved, because nothing happens to begin with. But then after a while, his face starts going fucking all weird. And then when they have their big fight at the end, and he turns into this weird, sloppy, slimy dinosaur mess. I didn't know what the fuck was going on there.
I don't think anyone knew what the fuck is going on there. But in terms of like dialogue and stuff, there's like the ADR in this is, it's unbelievable. Like, just so much is just happening off screen, and there's even moments like, obviously the ADR is happening off screen because they're just trying to fucking put together this mess into some kind
but
of
there's moments you can see their mouths not saying anything.
You see Bob Hoskins, like, he's literally it's a close-up of his mouth. He doesn't say anything, and you hear, watch out. What? And that's another bit when they're driving in the car and someone again says, get out of the way, and there's nothing in front of the car. It's like, what? What? Did somebody accidentally copy and paste something? It's just fucking...
Yeah, there's one of those near the start, I think, as well, when they're in their plumber's truck, and you can clearly see Luigi, like John Leguizamo was there, and he's not saying a word, and they've just got a bunch of dialogue going on. Like, come on, like, at least try to hide it a little bit. I just wanted to go back. That's just with regards to the cinematography, right? Because how, like, per Dean Semler, because you're trying to bring a vision to life, and if it keeps being changed on you, like, this is a guy, as I said, had done Dances with Wolves, had done Mad Max, and even this same year, he did Three Musketeers and Last Action Hero. So he's doing, action movies and stuff as well. But imagine the notes that you're getting of what kind of feel I want to get from this movie. Like, it's constantly changing. How, as a cinematographer, do you just go, fuck it, I'm just going to try and do some cool shots and just...
From a technical standpoint as well, like, if the sets aren't fucking finished and you don't know, where you can put a light or where you can hide a light, you can't really get that creative. And you can see, I was shocked when I checked out who actually shot it, because he's very competent cinematographer. But you see so much of it is just, it's really that, it's like fucking TV lighting, where it's just one big fucking light source just kind of right behind the camera, just lighting as much as fucking possible. Because if the sets aren't finished, or if you don't know if it's going to be finished, or if you have, someone says, we've an hour to fucking shoot this, and you're kind of going, well, I wouldn't mind a day. You know what I mean? It's just kind of cinematography on a shoestring, on fucking, just, it doesn't look good at all. Like, like, you can see in some scenes he's trying to do something, but it's obviously, cinematography took a hit from all the production fucking misgivings as well, which is a shame, because I'd love to. Somewhere in someone's brain before this whole mess happened, someone has an idea of what they wanted to do. What was that Oscar-winning screenwriter's idea for this? Because I'm pretty sure that would have been a little bit better than this. It's just fucking wild, like, just
a little, And I think that like, when you mentioned the sets being unfinished or whatever, I think, like, it feels like almost a whole of Dino Hatton or whatever it's called takes place in this one kind of square that's got an upper level that you can look down onto, street level, but it doesn't go any bigger than this one block. Basically, everything is just there and apart from a couple of different rooms.
And you could see, like, it's like that set, and it's good when you see movies like back from the 90s when they built stuff, and it's not really, there's no visual kind of extensions, VFX extensions, where you kind of initially going, it's impressive that somebody built that, but it just, again, the way it's lit, and it's just fucking, some of the camera shots are just so fucking basic and appalling that, like, they can't make the most of that set. It's like watching something from Highlander in the car park or something, or where he's fucking having a battle with those flying guys. It looks ridiculous and stuff, but the set looks cool. It's shot really cool. It's because it's dark. There's a vision. The movie's just shit, but this is Highlander 2, yeah. The movie's shit, but it's got an artistic vision. You know what they're trying. They just completely misfire.
I love that part of the lightning skipping across the ground.
It just looks cool.
The can goes flying and stuff. That's a choice and a great shot and a great little thing to put in. The guy when he's in the alleyway and all the rest of it. There's great stuff there. It's really someone trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Absolutely. But it's just wild decisions. And like, you love when movies take fucking big swings, and even when they miss, like when we reviewed The Bride and stuff, there's bits where you kind of go, look, they're fucking trying to do something, but didn't quite miss or didn't quite hit. But in this, you don't really know. You don't know what they're swinging. It's just they're flailing arms everywhere. It's like, what's actually happening? Like, why did someone go, okay, we'll take Daisy's father, who was the king of the Mushroom Kingdom, and make him a fungus? Like, that's...
Daisy, may I present to you your father? The fungus. Koopa's first victim of de-evolution.
This is my father?
Really dark, like this kind of snotty fungus mess coming out of this.
So I had a question on
ceiling.
that.
That's
I had a question.
Really dark.
Are we saying that Koopa devolved him into that? Like, is he because he's from the Mushroom Kingdom? So did he evolve from mushrooms? Is that what we're saying? I don't know what's going on there.
Because he did it to him, and that's he only has one machine.
Break? Yeah, but how did he break? Because it's when Koopa gets fucking splattered into goo all over the ground, it seems to break.
Normal.
Yeah, so it was a spell. So is it super amazing like technology with this like change and evolve and devolve people, or is it magic? Like which is it?
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing where it's just completely like all over the shop, where it doesn't even know what kind of world or rules it's abiding by. It's crazy and it's primitive, like evolved, devolved machine, fair enough. But then why is the guy a fungus? Like that's what I was thinking about. Why is it a fungus, and why is this like Mushroom King, obviously, who's been turned into fungus? Why is he using the power of the fungus to try and talk to Luigi through mushrooms, which is another part of just like, oh my God.
It's just silly string, like basically sprayed all over the place.
Like Luigi going through this fucking world with like Mario trying to save the princess, doing all this stuff, and every now and then he just turns and looks, and a little mushroom prop that someone's obviously got on a string that just bends a little bit towards him, and he goes, Mario, the mushrooms are trying to communicate. Like, wow, that's a pretty good reach, big reach there, Luigi. It's like, oh my God. So that was obviously her dad trying to communicate to him. But what was he trying to say? Like, follow the fungus?
No, because he kept trying to give him weapons. He's trying to give him bombs. Like, he kept trying to give him bombs. Like, it's like, I don't know, if a legal lump of fungus kept trying to give me bombs, I'd be like, yeah, I think I'm just going to stay away and just not get involved in that. But like,
and that little bomb thing with when he lights the wick for it,
the longest tiny fuse of all time.
The fuse is about an inch long. It's like, your action movies play with time and all this. That is burning for a full real time 2.5 minutes. just right until it's under.
Oh, sure, it goes across the street and everything down and back up again. Like, it's fucking, this thing is traveling on this little tiny fucking fuse thing, which doesn't seem to be anywhere. It is awesome looking though. Like I love those little tiny bombs. But just on it not knowing, what exactly it is, because of all this shit, what baffled me was the age rating. Like, they had to, he's constantly not talking about, we have to get rid of that Mario. It's constantly talking about how he's going to kill people. Like, it's not straight up murder that Dennis Hopper is talking about the whole way through. And like, they had to cut out some stuff with like sex workers and stuff in it. Like, there's literally someone as credited as a prostitute in an IMDb, and you're like, well, this is supposed to be a movie for kids. Nobody should be in there credited as a prostitute. Like, there was chicks' asses and tongs and fucking everything in this movie in the background, like,
and her cleavage, and
it's
like
mad.
Bob
Like,
Hoskins. Bob Hoskins, he dives into her fucking cleavage to try and get part of the crystal, and he's just kind of going, this is just. Do you know your audience? Like, where? What? Why is there? And she's in red fucking leather fucking miniskirt. It's just like, that's not in Mario, man. It really isn't. A hidden level, maybe. The way they try and set it up for a sequel is admirable, misguided. But even that, they even cannot get the fucking final add-on scene that normally you just record an extra scene or a pickup scene just to kind of tease a sequel or something like that. But like after everything happens and King Koopa is killed, it says like 3 weeks later. But like then Mario and Luigi, they're cooking dinner and knock at the door. It opens up and it's fucking Princess Daisy and she's got a fucking flamethrower or whatever and she's all burnt and stuff. And she's like, I need your help. You have to come with me. And Luigi's like, what is it?
What's wrong?
You're never going to believe this.
And she says, you wouldn't believe me if I told you or something like that. And then Mario turns to him and goes, oh, I believe. And then Luigi looks at him and goes, you do? And he's like, I believe.
I believe it.
You do?
I believe.
And so like, what the fuck is that a reference to? What? I never got anything that he didn't believe anything beforehand. It's like, is this, like, that seems like the end or the end scene of a movie we didn't get, right? Like all those parts were cut or something. Like, it's just fucking, that's just wild.
Yeah.
And then you get the freeze frame of her just like, haha, and just like, oh my God, they thought they were going to do another one. This movie halted fucking Nintendo's film production for decades.
But now that you say it, right? Because what year did he do Hook?
91.
Was it some sort of reference to that? You know, believe in a Peter Pan, believe in fairies, or something like that. And is it something like that?
That's another wild
That's
one.
probably a leap. I'm just thinking that now because I can't think of what else that could have been a reference to.
Yeah, because he kind of went from doing Hook then to this, and John Leguizamo went the other way of like doing this, and then 2 or 3 years later he's doing Romeo and Juliet and properly exploded. Yeah, would you give it a star rating?
Yeah. Like again, like this is one to watch, like just for the just because of all the shit that happened behind the scenes. And I think with that knowledge that if you haven't seen it, all the shit we've talked about, I think it'll make you enjoy it even more watching it from the first time, knowing the reason that it's as batshit as it is. But I think, like, as a movie, it's only 1 star. Like, it's only 1 star movie, and that's mostly just that's for the special effects and the fact that the actors did not phone it in. Like, they did their best at what they had.
Yeah, likewise, 1 star. It's not just a bad Mario movie; it's just a bad movie. It's like somewhere in there's good intentions, and I love the idea of just like a dark take and a wildly different take. Why not? If it worked for the Ninja Turtles a few years earlier, why not have given it a go? But yeah, I'll finish 1 star with my favorite quote of the movie, where King Koopa goes, "He's one evil egg-sucking son of a snake." Take it from there. Fuck yeah! Like somebody wrote that.
Oh, good lord. Anyway, you can see though why it has that cult status, because it is. I would definitely rewatch it if it was on Netflix, so I'd have it on the background just so I could take the piss out of it. It is that kind of movie, but it
just poses so many questions in your head. There's so many times you're watching it, you're just going, why, how, and just why again? It's like, what? Good fun, though.
I think that's a good note to end on. So 1 star each, and thanks very much, guys, for tuning in for our bonus episode. But look, have a great weekend. Look after each other, and keep on liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Take it easy.
Yahoo!